Oh yeah, I think I did that before, but hold on.
Case, 'cause I didn't.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, I'm good. I'm Sam.
Oh, there we go. We're
Push
live.
time.
It's push time.
Oh, it's time to push.
Yeah, time to push.
Push the
Oh,
pod.
hair in my eye, and we're good to go.
Push the pod. All right. Have a good show, boys.
Yep.
Pump up the
Thanks,
jam.
MSG.
Pump it up.
While your feet are stomping. Oh.
Yeah.
Boom.
Bob,
Push.
you're in here, and Bob, stop watching on. Bob, stop watching on Twitter. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. Bingo
Oh crap!
bongo.
I forgot to do it on Facebook. Shit.
It's the Facebook. It's the patented double push. Max
Yeah,
Adam
I forgot.
texted me.
I forgot.
Does Tim's number? I don't know, dude. I'm in the middle of a show. Good luck on the pot. Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it's doing the thing again.
It's doing the thing.
Yeah, I just
Do the
disconnected
Knicks
my
have a
AirPods.
monopoly on Bing Bong? They absolutely. They should, but I still want it anyway. If that makes sense. Post it.
All right. I'm not. All right,
folks, we got
ready?
this Twitter stream here.
Like
2. That's a solid number. No, let's go. Let's rip it.
3, 2, 1. Phillies!
Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As always, my name is Ryan Conway, and joining me here is my illustrious co-host and wartime consigliere, Sam Glavin. And, of course, we have our incomparable producer behind the glass, Seamus G. We love multi-syllabic words here on the Wolves of Broad Street podcast, but not as much as we love betting with Park Sportsbook, who is our sponsor for the next months and months, I suppose. Go ahead, download their sportsbook app. Go Parks. Look it up on the casino apps. They're all out there. Go on Park Sportsbook. Google it. Sign up with code WOLVES69. That's right. Wolves69. Go out there. Throw $25 in there. You get a risk-free bet up to $500. Risk-free bet up to $500. And we got to get that out of the way because we want you guys to make your money, especially after, because you're going to hear our top-level analysis of the Eagles game from this past weekend, of the Sixers season so far, and moving forward for both squads, as well as maybe a little flyer stock at the end. We'll see how you're feeling. But Sam, here at the Wolves of Broad Street podcast, brought to you by Park Sportsbook, code Wolves69. We're a little disappointed in how the Eagles played on Sunday with that 27-24 loss to the, almost said San Diego, Las Vegas Chargers.
Yeah.
And the key, you can critique the offense all you want, but I think in this episode, we're really going to have to open up with the defense because that is where the wheels really came off. It's when the Chargers had the ball 6 minutes left. We knew they could do whatever they wanted. And that's just from a whole day of it. So just talk to me about your feelings about the game and kind of what you noticed.
So to me, it came down to an inexperienced coaching staff, mainly on the defensive side of the ball, as we were just saying. So Jonathan Gannon, I am too, how I said last week about I'm not coming for anybody's head yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm coming for Jonathan Gannon's head now, and I think he should be fired immediately because that was very, very bad. That was bad. It was bad schemes all over the place. That was a game where we should have won. We should have beat that team. That team was tumbling, and now, like I said last week, that was a game for the Chargers where they were going to try and turn their season around against the Eagles, and they just did that because what better way to turn your season around than playing the Philadelphia Eagles?
Damn right, you did say that,
and they did just that. But when I'm watching the game, I'm like, holy shit, we could win this game. Offense was playing very well. I was happy with Jalen Hurts' performance. I was very happy with Devontae Smith's performance. I was very happy with the run game. Jordan Howard and Boston Scott coming in clutch. But yeah, the defense was just piss poor, and I have no one to blame except for the defensive coordinator and Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, there are just so many things wrong with it, and it all really comes down to right now, especially with this defense. Sure, our soft coverages are killing us. That is obviously one of the number one issues, but something else that pretty much any Eagles fan, that knows a thing or two about football can see, we can't get to the quarterback. we didn't make Justin Herbert. I think we had one QB pressure, and that ended in a roughing the passer or a personal foul. That was a 15-yard penalty towards the end of the game. So that is unacceptable. We have what I thought was supposed to be one of the top 5 defensive lines in all of the NFL, and we can't get a hit on the quarterback unless we're playing who? The Lions or the Panthers. The Panthers, who have been notoriously banged up. We shit on Sam Darnold there. That was great. We've only had 2 good defensive games, and those were games where we got to the quarterback and laid hits on the quarterback. Justin Herbert comes out, throws 32 for 38. That's 85% of his passes. He's the 4th or 5th quarterback to do that this season to us. We haven't had that happen 5 times in the last 20, 30 years against an Eagles defense.
Yeah.
With that many completions. With that completion percentage. You just can't. That's untenable. You can't win games like that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, and like you said, I mean, it comes down to the schemes that Jonathan Gannon is cooking up, and you know what, it has to do with execution and stuff. But we have the players. I mean, we have a very deep defensive line, right? Like there should be no reason as to why this defense is unsuccessful, other than the linebacking core, because we have the pieces in place. We have the pieces at cornerback, minus Steven Nelson. I don't know where he's been. He hasn't shown up at all this season, but Darius Slay has been playing very well. I thought the safeties have been playing well. Some of the young guys stepping up as well. I mean, in that linebacking core, which is not very good. I mean, Davion Taylor, I thought had a pretty good game. But other than that, I mean, it's just the way the defense is being called. I mean, I'm still seeing Fletcher Cox like spreading out you're coming out off the line to cover a screen pass. I mean, like it's ridiculous. It's unheard of. I can't believe I'm even talking about this.
I've just never seen so much, talent, because I do believe there's a shitload of talent on this defensive line. I'm not saying like Rams level where they have Aaron Donald and now Von Miller, which we'll get into a little bit later, but it's just we don't have, those 2 kinds of caliber stars, but we have, like you said, we have the depth, and we should have that star talent. I mean, Javon Hargrave has been amazing. He's been lights out, even when he's barely allowed to be. And both of those guys, him and Fletcher Cox, are top 2 defensive tackles, really the heart of the defensive line, literally and figuratively, have come out and criticized Gannon's play calling. So you're 100% right. I mean, and I'm with you. Jonathan Gannon, he's just bad. He's just flat out bad at his job. He just can't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he can't coach execution. He definitely can't call plays. I mean, how often are we going to just give them 8 yards off the line of scrimmage every time? What are we doing? How is that something that's going to work? Because even if you're giving them all that room and you can't hit the quarterback and you're letting them complete passes for that long and, hold on to the ball for as long as they did, 33 minutes time of possession in a 3-point game, that's going to change everything. If that's flipped, if we had 33% or 33 minutes of possession, we win that game. I believe that. And
absolutely,
a huge amount of that comes down to the defense and its complete, inability to stop what was a decent Chargers offense, but they weren't, out there firing on all cylinders like the way that they have. And part of that's just because of injuries, and getting healthy, coming off of buys and things like that. But it just still wasn't enough, and you just can't allow them to dink and dunk their way down the field and just hold on to the football and just completely kill any momentum you could have hoped for. When we tied the game up with 6 minutes left, I knew it was over. Pretty much I was there on Sunday. Everyone in the stadium knew it was over. You could kind of feel that, like everyone was just kind of looking around, like, okay. You can kind of hear them start to, mumble themselves, or, the people next to them. All right, so when are we getting to the car? When are we going to beat the traffic? Because it's only a matter of time. It's just like, when is it that we're going to have to go? Not, maybe they might pull it out. It's no.
Well, to your point about the defensive backs playing off of the line, I mean, you see it with the stats right here. I mean, we have 356 passing yards against 32 for 38. I mean, like that happened with Derek Carr as well against the Raiders. So, and then you look at the rushing yards. They only had 89 rushing yards. Yeah, they don't have a fantastic star running back, but it just shows that our defensive line, like, knows what, like they know what they're doing. It's a very seasoned line, very deep line. And you can tell that Gannon doesn't really have to worry about that, but he is not coaching up the defensive backs correctly at all. I mean, 356 passing yards. I mean, get on the line, jam them up a little bit. I mean, it's make them work for it because they're just throwing these 6 yard out routes and getting first downs every time.
It's disappointing. We just don't play a physical brand of defense, and that's not, a lot of times, you hear that, and that is, meant to be reflective of the players. Like, oh, they're playing soft. Like, I mean, coverage-wise, they are playing soft, but our guys play hard, regardless of, they're out there even if they can't bring the guy down, they're out there, they're wrapping up better than I've seen. It's just that they've already gotten 10 yards because they were standing nowhere near them. And the coaches aren't allowing them to play physical is really what it is. They're not allowing them to establish dominance on the football field. They're just like, all right, let's just try and stop them. It's like, let's just stand under the rim and hope we can take a charge. I know that's not the right sport, but that's their defensive strategy. It's more that than let me go take the ball from these sons of bitches. Let me go hit these guys. Let me go bury these motherfuckers in the dirt. It's actually just, oh, let's just hope they don't score too many points. Let's hope they don't get too many yards too quickly, so we don't give up.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, and it's pretty much coaching scared, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you can't play that way with a rookie offense, like with a very young offense. I mean, because you don't know you don't know how they're gonna show up that day. The defense was supposed to be the most secure part of this team, the team that was the part of the team that was supposed to keep us in football games, and so far it's been the opposite.
Yep.
And I have a hard time trusting. I mean, yeah, I'll flat out say I have a hard time trusting the offense to keep putting up these kinds of numbers. I mean, I know we weren't nearly putting up these kind of point totals last season, and I certainly didn't expect it this year. But I have a hard time, with this defensive philosophy being like, oh yeah, we just have to like try and limit the amount of points that we're scoring. No, we have a young offense that like we don't know what we're gonna get from week to week.
Right.
So the defense is supposed to be the strongest part of this team. I mean, we gotta help out this young offense. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I mean, if you had told me that by week 9 of this season that our defense would be the worst part of our team and the most effective part of our team would be the run game, I would have said that's dumb, but that sounds like it could be the Eagles. Like, I mean, just in terms of just the way things have gone historically, but it really is difficult when you have a young quarterback like Jalen Hurts, who is still unproven, who is, in terms of arm talent, to me, not impressive, but who deserves no blame for this loss. I mean, he missed one throw to Dallas Goedert, maybe missed another out route, but like, you're not going to make every throw. He's not throwing the ball a ton. He's making plays with his legs, diving over defenders, doing everything he can to get us to win. I mean, whether or not you think he's the quarterback of the future, that's not the discussion to have right now. It's not the future. We're in the middle of the season. So whether or not you think he's the guy, I mean, here are his numbers now, 11-17, 64%, 162 yards, 62 yards rushing on 10 attempts. That's not bad. No INT, no turnovers. He's protecting the football.
Big thing.
He's making the basic throws. There were a couple, he'd like to have back that we know he struggles with, but you can't bank on him. You can't bank on him to go ahead and win the game. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Tom Brady. And guess what? Even if we had Aaron Rodgers as our quarterback for the last 6 minutes of that game on Sunday, he wouldn't have touched the field. It would have made no difference who our quarterback was. It would have made absolutely zero difference what was going on with our offense that day, because they wouldn't have gotten the football, because our defense allowed Justin Herbert and company to drive down the field for 6 minutes and kick a field goal as time expired. 6 minutes. It's hard. It's almost hard to move that slowly down the field in the modern NFL. I mean, teams can do it, but you have to be, we essentially just bent over and just asked them to be gentle and asked them to take their time. That's pretty much what happened on that last drive of the game.
Oh gosh. I think people forget this a lot, and I know it's because we're in Philadelphia, and I know it's because we are a football town, right?
Yes, sir.
Jalen Hurts is a second-year quarterback. No, he's not even a second-year quarterback. He's a 1.5-year quarterback. And whether you think that he's the answer or not, like going down the road, he's a 1.5-year quarterback. Like he hasn't even played 16 games yet. Like it's the fact that I know like he's the quarterback, right? And the fact that we're putting all this pressure on him, which it's all good. I know he can handle it and stuff, but we can't expect him to be Tom Brady going down the field with 2 minutes left and winning games for us. I mean, it's just not realistic. We're still trying to build an offense where you have our receiving core is probably one of the youngest in the NFL. I mean, we got some young guys on the line, and our quarterback is like he hasn't even played 16 games yet. So I guess this is I guess I'm in a hopeful mood right now, Ryan. I don't really know what's going on with me. Because I liked what I saw out of Hurts. I think that he can get a lot better from here. I think the ceiling is very, very high. The floor is pretty medium sized, I would say. But yeah, it's that's how I'm feeling right now, man. I don't know.
Play. Yeah, I mean he's a gutsy player. He was out there leaving it all on the field, and the team came up short. And it was funny because I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, excuse me, allergy season,
Yeah, I'm feeling that one too, buddy.
Yeah, leaves are falling. But what was my point? My point was, yes, people on Twitter last night were saying, or not last night, Sunday night after the game, were saying, oh, y'all will still find a way to blame Jalen Hurts, even if he had 400 yards and blah, blah, blah. But, like, I didn't see a lot of tweets blaming Jalen Hurts for the loss. I didn't really see that. So it was interesting just because people were like, everyone's talking about these Hurts haters, and they were nowhere to be found. And I'm sure they're out there, and I'm sure that, I'm not in the same Twitter circles as everybody on Twitter. I understand that. But from what I saw a lot of people say, okay, Jalen Hurts is obviously a limited quarterback if we're only letting him throw the ball 17 times, but this loss is in no way his fault. And I mean, the offense was good.
Look at those. Look at these numbers, man. We got 24 points is good enough. I mean, I think what I started with the year, I would like 20. I said I wanted 25 points a game, which is just under that. No fumbles. I mean, we have 330 total yards. I mean, that'll do it. 155 passing yards, sure, but he's a running quarterback, so he's going to get a lot more yards with his legs. 5.8 yards per play, that'll get her done. I mean, that's good enough. 8 for 12 on third down is as good as we've ever been on third down. The time of possession was down, which is basically why we lost. And 57 plays, 18 pass, and 39 rush. I mean, this is exactly what we've been asking for out of this offense.
Yep.
Running the ball more, taking the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands, and limiting the touches that he gets limits the amount of the mistakes he gets that he makes. And we only gave up 1 sack. He had no picks, no turnovers. It was a great day for the offense. And Devontae Smith had 5 catches and 116 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, obviously, you'd like to see more. You'd like to see more points in terms of a win.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's no shame in scoring 21 points against the San Diego Chargers. There's no shame in that, especially when you barely have the fucking ball. So the offense did everything they could. Meanwhile, this is the second time this season we played an offense and they haven't punted once. Jonathan Gannon. They didn't punt once. They were 2 for 4 on 4th down, but they didn't punt once. And I understand that, game circumstances can dictate that, but that doesn't mean that you were really getting them any 3 and outs within their, in their own red zone. You weren't getting any of that where they would be, even if it was 4th and inches, they're still going to punt. That wasn't happening. Anytime we had it's like Aaron Nola in like a 2-strike count. Like that's when we give up our home runs. That's when we give up our home runs, man.
Hey, when Ryan starts making baseball references, man, when Ryan starts making baseball references, it's scary. But when he's right about the baseball reference and the whole allusion with an A, that is absurd. That was a lesson today in my 11th grade English class. Allusions.
Dude, love allusions.
Yeah, allusions. Yeah. So that was I'm glad you brought that up. That was pretty cool.
Thank you. But it's exactly what it is, right? I mean, we get their back in the corner and then it's 20 yards down the field. And it's just like, all right. And I'm like, how'd you even manage that? We're playing soft coverage. Like the whole point is to prevent them from getting chunk yardage. And they're still getting it's just like the whole idea of what this defense like could be. even if I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, all right, there are certain plays where you got to play like that. It's just he's still proving me wrong because he's not calling it in situations like that. And when he is, it's still not working. It's still not working. So there's just a lot of things wrong with this Eagles team. There's a lot of things wrong with this defense that I don't really foresee us fixing moving forward. I mean, it's great that we have on the offensive side. You know, we have Jordan Howard, who for some reason was on the practice squad for 7 weeks of this season. I don't know where the fuck he was.
Yeah.
I mean, this coaching staff must hate Miles Sanders. Like there's got to be some organizational like hate for Miles. They probably just don't want to pay him or something, which is why then he goes down and we run the ball 30 times a game. Like, how pissed is he? Right?
Yeah.
He's like, I could have at least put up some numbers before I broke my ankle and maybe like up my value. No.
Now
We
we're
got
just handing the
shitty
ball
screens.
off to Scott and Jordan Howard.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like what? Why is Boston Scott like? And here's the thing: they're both doing great. I can't even be mad, but it's just like, all right, why are we going Miles, Kenny G, and then now one of those guys is gone, and now the other guy's just out of the rotation? And we do they like work better in tandems? Is there like a chemistry thing? Like I don't understand like what the deal is.
I don't know, but let me ask you this, right? What do we do when he comes back? Because here's the thing: I don't want to fix something that's not broken. I mean, no, chill.
I mean, we can't. I mean, the deadline's passed, but you are right.
Yeah.
It is going to be an interesting issue there because he is he's a running back one talent in the NFL, or at least that's what I think. And when he would get the ball before he got hurt in the limited amount of times he did, he was good.
Yeah.
But now
I agree.
We are running the ball better than we ever have.
Yeah,
so
it's an interesting. I guess it's a conundrum because it's our best running back didn't get any touches at the beginning of the year, gets hurt, right? Comes back, and then our practice squad running backs come in and start tearing up, and then starting running back comes out, and we probably start passing the ball over the field all over again, which is
oh my god, yeah, just
Eagles football, baby. It's awesome.
It's just so crazy that Sirianni went from like Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 40 times a game to like 30 times in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's special, man. It's really special. I'm trying to think, is there anything else?
Crazy. I don't really want to talk
with
about
these
the Eagles anymore,
though. We have to though because they are playing the Broncos, Sam. We always forget we have to preview the game. We always forget we have to preview the game. Because it's going to be an interesting one because the Broncos beat the Cowboys. Like, they beat the fucking brakes off them. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I was like,
bad.
you know what?
I don't know what it is.
It sucked because I was like, you know what? Fuck it. The Cowboys are good this year. Let me at least reap some benefits. And I picked up their defensive fantasy. That was like the 1 week they busted on ESPN where they got 0 points. And I'm just like, I could have just done nothing. So that was just tough to swallow right there. But the Broncos, man, I don't think they're very good, which is why this is all very weird to me. Which is all like when I think of the Broncos, I think of this Eagles team going into Mile High Stadium. I just see a win.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Right?
I mean, you're gonna have to remind me who their quarterback is at the moment. I don't really know who it is, but. Which is probably an indicator is that they're a bad football team.
That's an unfair question. That's an unfair question, Sam. That's the fact that you would ask me that.
It's Teddy Bridgewater. Is Seamus G chiming in here?
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Bing bong.
I don't foresee. I mean, if the defense shows up for at least a game, I mean, I think, or maybe even a half. I don't know. Then I think we could probably, a whole half. I think we'll probably get a win. I mean, I don't know how good their defense is either without Von Miller anymore either. So
I don't
know, man. Probably I have a win. I have a win in mind here. And yeah, like Seamus G is chiming in again. Patrick Surtain is hurt, which is big. I mean, sucks that he's hurt. You don't want to see anybody hurt.
Oh yeah, I mean,
good for us. Yeah. I think my score prediction is Seamus G. I think I was 27-21, I believe, in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, 27-21 Eagles for me.
What did I even write down?
I don't remember.
You know. I figured we write it down. We put it on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were gonna do too.
You're giving me fucking fingers in the StreamYard, like I can fucking see it. Like, all right, I had the Eagles 24-17. Don't flip me off. Put the fucking banner up. Thank you. 24-17. Eagles.
Yep, and I got Eagles 27-21, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's the first time we've both had the Eagles winning in a this week for when we do like the current ones. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's not a big game. I mean, but it is at the same time because the NFC East is so dismal. The Cowboys, who knows what direction they're headed in with Dak's health. So this could be. Who knows it when we can look back on the season this is the big change. This is the big week where everything shifted. I doubt it, but it would be nice. And I mean, it would be nice. Do you want to know what else is nice, Sam?
What else? Tell me.
The Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Blank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideblankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Sam, who you got in the Doghouse this week?
So, this is another interesting one that I've come across, and I'm gonna go with the U.S. court system currently. And now I want to preface this. I was in between when I got back from Carlisle High School after teaching a couple lessons, in between lunch, and I had about 5 minutes, and the news was on, and I saw some live footage of this trial with Kyle Rittenhouse, and I want to be perfectly clear. I have no idea what is going on in that whole trial, and I am completely ignorant when it comes to that, so just keep that in mind. But when the prosecution brings up Call of Duty, the video game, as a reason to put a man in jail, I think that's flawed thinking. I really do. I think that is a flawed argument, just in any context within the U.S. court of law.
Yeah.
I think that's just probably not where you want to go with your prosecution. I think that's a little weird, if you ask me.
I can't argue with that, Sam.
I am putting in specifically the prosecution against this kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, which, again, I have no idea what the hell is going on with that. And I completely, but if you're bringing up video games in the court of law, it can't be that. Like, it's just not good.
It doesn't seem like the best strategy. Like,
no,
if I'm sitting there and I hear that, I go, is this really, if I'm on the jury and I hear that, I'm like, all right, is this really what we're doing? Right? Like,
you sure about that? You sure about that?
Because, like, what if somebody in the jury rips COD? Like, what if they're, a big fan of Call of Duty Vanguard out now?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. So
I hate to get somewhat political again in two doghouses in a row, but I just had to bring it up because it was literally the 5 minutes that I caught of this whole fucking like shindig.
Mm-hmm.
I catch them talking about Call of Duty as a means of evidence to throw this kid in jail. It's just, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. Yeah, exactly. Sam Glavin, generational political mind, right there.
Along with political scientist, known policy wonk, Sam Glavin.
Known wig.
Oh my God. No, yeah, I'm with you there. It's an interesting choice. And Sam, I've got a doghouse I feel kind of strongly about. And I'm throwing NBA drama queens in the doghouse.
There you go.
Specifically right now, this whole Nikola Jokic, Marcus Morris. I don't know which one's on the Heat. It doesn't really matter to me. Just this whole fake tough guy. I mean, the toughest guy in this whole situation really is Nikola Jokic because he's the only guy that actually did something about it.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, like, I mean, he had a guy while his back was turned. But he did also get hit with a flagrant 2. If someone hits me with a flagrant 2, I'm going to take exception to that. I mean, I got tossed out of I got tossed out of a 5th grade basketball game because I got fouled from behind. It was a clear path foul, and they didn't call it. So, I mean, I got tossed for using expletives at 9 years old. So, I mean, if I'm a grown-ass man, 7 feet tall, and I'm taking exception to getting bodied around, I'll throw it. But here's the thing. Just all the guys on the Heat waiting until, like, at the end of the game to start chirping, or standing, that photo of them all standing, like, waiting outside the locker room trying to look tough. It's just
that
the
was
NBA
weird.
is – if there was a sports league of the 4 major sports of guys that aren't going to do shit, it's probably the NBA. And because the thing is, sometimes in baseball, they do shit. They throw in baseball every once in a while. It's that whole Root Neto Door situation when Rugi hits him in the face.
Yeah.
That's a classic. I mean, granted, after the Malice of the Palace, the rules are pretty strict with the NBA.
Yeah.
But just this whole thing, this whole culture of that fake tough guy, it's just so basketball.
Hold me back.
So basketball, dude. It's just I don't know. There's just like this culture around it's like so close to soccer. Even soccer players will actually get more physically violent. Like widely considered the softest athletes, at least from the American perspective. Like Zinedine Zidane headbutted somebody. What's Jimmy Butler doing? Yelling
at people
across the court. I'm like, dude, you had him. You had him right there. You had him right there. If you really wanted that, if you really wanted to fight a Serbian that didn't have to leave the country during the 90s, you probably don't want to fight that guy.
With 2 brothers and who were clearly connected in the
these
the crowd.
Guys are goons in the least offensive way possible. I just mean like that's their occupation.
Yeah.
Like that's just what they are. And that's fine. But like this whole I
think they carry on a card too, you know.
And look, man, I'm not going to discount, they're from the Morrises are Philly guys, Philly, violent city, high crime rate, they compare it to a war zone. Serbia was an active war zone with bombs,
fully
and
a war,
and militaries. I'm not discounting one's experiences. I'm just saying one might wonder. Just like,
No, I mean the Morris brothers confirmed Philly guys. I mean, it's they I just can't believe that they thought that people think that this is, and I see like these polls like on Twitter and stuff, who would win, the Morris brothers or the Jokic brothers? Like, are we serious right now? These kids were coming from a war-torn country. No, they stayed in a war-torn country. And they didn't come over until this guy started playing professional basketball.
You know how many? So here's the thing: they either stayed because they either stayed because they weren't, too badly affected, or because they were involved in the bad stuff that was going on in Serbia. There was a whole trial about that.
We don't need to get
political, guys. We don't need to. I don't need to read you my senior thesis about the Balkan War right now, but maybe we'll do that in a different episode.
Yeah,
but this has been the Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Yeah. Visit their website at www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. Excuse me. If it's wide, they've got it. They've got it. They absolutely do. And do you want to know what else has stuff that you can spend money on?
What is that?
Park Sportsbook. Park Sports. Same as G with the perfect timing. Just go ahead, download the Park Sportsbook app. Go on parkscasino.com, make an account using code Wolves69. Yes, that is a real functioning promo code.
Yes.
This is a real thing that they're allowing us to do. Can you believe that?
They gave it to us.
They gave it to us.
We were partially joking, but then they just were like, yeah, sure, I guess. And
we were like, give us Wolves 69 or we walk. And then it took a little bit to get the paperwork cleared. And then when Drew and Vic sent us over the promo codes, it said, it said Wolves 69. It said Wolves 69. I logged in. I made an account. Wolves 69. Deposit $25.
Yep.
My first risk-free bet up to $500. You didn't need to do the deposit for $25 to get the bet. You just have to make the account with the code. You put as much. Not the point. The point is go there, gamble your money away, and just and if your wife leaves you, trust me, you're much better off. But regardless of what I'm saying about whatever it is I'm saying, we're in the middle. Make your money work for you, as Seamus G likes to say. Enter the money zone with us. Welcome to the money zone.
Bet the house on the Duke Blue Devils winning the NCAA championship.
They look good last night.
We're there. Yeah,
they looked good last night. They did. And talking about just basketball, big basketball week for me. College hoops are back. Temple opened up tonight against, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, or whatever, and they're blowing them out. Just absolutely blowing them out. And our Sixers are struggling, but not because we're bad at basketball, for one.
True.
It is because
very, very,
of a
very
lot
true.
of different issues. Of course, Joel Embiid out with the COVID-19. Tobias Harris out with the COVID-19. Ben Simmons out is out with erectile dysfunction. And
whole team dead.
Whole team dead. Whole team literally is sick and dying. Seth was out last night. We had to play a back-to-back against who do we play Monday? The Knicks.
The wrong guy.
We played the Knicks and then the Bucks on a back-to-back with 7 guys. This is who we had starting. We had, of course, Tyrese Maxey at the 1. We got Paul Reed, Andre Drummond, Furkan Korkmaz, and Shake Milton. That was our starting 5 last night. If that is not a process, if that is not a process era Sixers lineup in terms of quality, dude, that's a G League team. Like that's a G League. It's a G League winning team. Oh, I'm sorry. And George Niang coming off the bench, who we'll talk about because last week I was like, can we stop sucking this guy's dick? And then now I'm just like, I might need to hop on this guy's dick because he's really good.
Yeah, he's been playing very well. Yeah,
he's been playing very good. Hey, no need to say pause. No, hit play, motherfucker. Fast forward even.
Oh my god!
I don't even care.
I've really been liking. You know who else I've been liking? I've been liking Furkan Korkmaz, and I've been liking Tyrese Maxey.
Hard not to.
What did you see that tweet? It was a broadcast announcer who said, the Sixers really are just struggling because they just don't have a true point guard. Meanwhile, Tyrese Maxey went off for like 35 points and like 10 assists or some BS like that. It made absolutely zero sense, and everybody hopped on him immediately, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah, dude. Just so many misconceptions about this Sixers team that were perpetuated by the national broadcast last night. And that was one of them. I mean, look, is Tyrese Maxey the perfect quintessential point guard? No. Is he on the John Morant level of point guard? No, he's definitely more a 2 than a 1. But our lack of a point guard was not the issue last night. We just had 7 guys that were tired after playing 2 games in a row. That's why we couldn't score in the fourth quarter. Look. When we're not able to score in the fourth quarter against good teams with all of our guys, maybe then we can start talking about, hey, maybe Tyrese Maxey isn't the answer. But that wasn't the issue at all. Tyrese Maxey not being the perfect second coming of like prime Rondo is not why that team lost last night. Not at all. There's just a lot of misassigned blame in Philly sports this week. Is that appears to be the theme.
It's all the time. It's all the time, man. Nobody
pays attention.
Nobody pays attention. I mean, to be fair, I don't really pay attention that very well to the Sixers. I can't lie about that one. Can't
give us the graphic.
But yeah, I guess Sam Glavin can confirm Sixers guy. Yeah, I am a Sixers guy. But no, I did actually watch the Bucks game, and it was for some reason that's like the first game I've watched in like 3 games, and of course I get to watch the game where there's no Embiid, no Curry, none of the cool guys that we got on our team. And it's just a bunch of schmucks that we had to pull off the bench, and they could barely dribble a basketball. I mean, it's just
it's not great. It's not great. And look, those guys played their asses off, and I know
no doubt.
And I have to double preface this because 1, I know that everybody is already saying this, and 2, I know there's no such thing as a moral victory, but that is there were encouraging signs to take away from those games. You and I have talked about this a lot this year, especially with the Eagles, how you can't talk about, oh, we need to look for progress when there isn't any. But there's positivity and there's progress being shown with the youth on this team. And I know I said I don't care about youth development, but I don't mean that we're still waiting. I'm saying I think some of this talent is being realized. I'm talking about Tyrese Maxey. Paul Reed still needs a little bit of time, but he locked up Giannis for the better part of the night last night. I don't know why Doc didn't have him mirror Giannis's minutes. That was a big mistake. But but it's just, this team is good. This is a good team, and this depth that we have is part of why this team can go far. It's just now we need to add the $100 million of salary that we have out right now. We had guys on the court last night. Our roster last night was worth $30 million. Was worth one
Awesome.
Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons is not even playing. That's how much. So the fact that we were able to play the defending champs close on the second night of a back-to-back without our MVP, without our second place defensive player of the year, second place MVP, and go out there and try and make something happen and almost do 2 nights in a row is impressive. It is impressive.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, not to shift gears too quickly, because I totally agree with everything you said. But did you see the tweet about from the Bucks, the king of Philly, of Giannis? Dude, you're literally playing against like our bench, like barely even our bench, the back end of the bench into the G League part of our squad right now. We have Paul Reed starting. Like, in what world? In what world? And you're gonna say Giannis is the king of Philadelphia?
They haven't faced a fully healthy Sixers team in 3 years, since Christmas Day 2018, and they got blown the fuck out. Ever since then, either we've been missing either Joel or Ben. And granted, last night they were missing Chris Middleton, who is the best role player of all time.
Yep,
I do still stand by that, even though he's a multiple-time All-Star.
Yep, I agree.
And, a star in this league. He is a role player.
Yeah,
it's just
well, with Giannis, every time I can't even acknowledge like history behind that whole take, because every time Giannis has played in Philly, I mean, he's maybe had like a few like pretty decent games, but every time that he comes to Philly, guess who's locking him up? Ben Simmons. I mean, Ben Simmons always played well against Giannis, and that's coming from me.
And then with that, it's like, okay, then Ben's out, and then we have Joel. And it's like, that's not a great matchup. But like the idea that they're insinuating that he's the king of Philly because I do think he has a decent road winning streak here, or against us in general, but it's not the same.
Not because of the numbers he's been putting up in Philly, that's for sure. I mean, he's had a very good team. I'm not taking away anything from Giannis. He's a very good basketball player and whatnot. Whatever.
I need to take a little bit away from Giannis. I need to take a little bit away.
Ass. I mean, like, Jesus, he's not. He's just. That was a bad tweet. It was a bad tweet, and I want to move on.
It was it was a bad tweet, and it's just the thing with the Bucks. They granted, hey, they won the title. Yeah, that's great. I mean, that whatever, but he's not the king of Philadelphia, simply not. Nope. And they're stupid. It's dumb, and they're getting like way too excited. They're way too horny for Giannis. Like, let's just all settle down. Let's all settle down. And let's get a little horny for our Philadelphia 76ers, all right?
Sure.
Why not? Because there were a lot of good things, to look at. I mean, first of all, Tyrese Maxey off the bounce, pulling up from 3 and hitting them. Like, there was a point, and like, look, this is dumb, and I'm not making this comparison, but there was some Damian Lillard, like, step back threes last night. Maybe not as like big a jump backwards as Dame, because like Dame just gets so much separation with his step back, but just kind of just the, fuck it, I know I can make this shot, and just pulling up and hitting it. So that confidence in his jumper and his ability to, not have to, not, because there's some guys that can only shoot when they catch it or after a couple dribbles. But Tyrese Maxey can come up the floor, top speed, see that he has room for a transition 3 and hit it. So that's huge, and
great to see out of a second-year player too, mind you. I mean, he's another guy. I mean, we could go back to Jalen Hurts here, right? He's a second-year player, and we're looking for him to be a star point guard for a title contending basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not Philadelphia for you, I mean, I don't know what the hell else I can tell you.
Yeah.
Our quarterback and our point guard, both second-year players,
just kids,
and just literal children, and getting all of the blame, or I mean, all of the invalid blame for like zero reason, and just
it's crazy.
Awesome.
And there are people, and part of why there's this narrative against Tyrese Maxey, or even, not even against Tyrese Maxey, but why they felt as though it was necessary to comment on our lack of a point guard is partially because Tyrese only had like 4 assists. Whatever. And if you're the point guard, you like to have your point guard have 7 assists. But when you look at the guys he's passing to, Furkan Korkmaz, as much as we love him, as great as he's been this season, as big a sex icon as he is in the city of Philadelphia, for for all of those who are attracted to a Furkan Korkmaz like guy, there's a lot of people out there. For as good as he's been and all of that, he was 1 of 11 from 3 at one point in the game last night. 1 for 11 from 3. How many of those were transition? Tyrese draws the defender, draws a double team, kicks it out to Furk, and he misses it. It got to be at least 4. How many Danny Green misses were there? There were definitely a lot to start.
Motherfucker.
So I'm not even hating on those guys. It's just they shouldn't have to be in these volume shooting situations.
He's back to Daniel Green now.
He's Daniel Green. He's Daniel Green this season for sure. But even he was playing on a bad leg because we needed him.
Don't care.
Beth was out. Jesus.
Don't care.
Yeah, man. It's just tough. It's tough because it's going to be a long while till we get Joel back. So, and even before we get Joel back, we might get Tobias back a few days earlier. I mean, is this much better? Is that much better? Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris? I'd almost rather play with the guys we have right now.
Oh, man. I don't know about that.
Dude, Tobias Harris is he's like a shittier Chris Middleton.
I mean, Chris Middleton's pretty freaking good. I mean, if you get a less
shittier,
good,
though.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Tobias Harris is nowhere near Chris Middleton, but I'd much rather have him than freaking Georges Niang.
I don't know, man. I'll take George Niang.
Stop that right now,
dude. I just it's just tough with Tobias because he's hard to hate, but then you look at him play basketball and it's he's good. But then he's not. It's just I have such a weird relationship with him, and it's just we just need to figure it out. But right now, I say to the Sixers fans, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride with these young guys right now. You weird little process perverts that love watching young players develop and play in meaningless basketball games, even though every single one of these games matters immensely.
Let me ask you a question, Ryan. As long as we're on the subject of Tobias Harris, even though he's kind of disappeared off the face of the earth because of COVID reasons, but would you rather? I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Okay. The first one is: would you take Tobias Harris or CJ McCollum?
CJ McCollum, probably.
Okay. Now the follow-up question would be: would you take last year Tobias Harris or CJ McCollum?
Last year?
Yeah.
Same answer.
No, but the way Tobias Harris played last year, take 2020.
He was good, but then he missed Harris. 8 shots in a row in Game 7. But then again, CJ McCollum didn't do much to help Dame, so it's difficult there. I mean, I guess I don't know. That whole season was so tainted.
Yeah,
it's so crazy to watch a basketball team where the center is the one that doesn't shoot threes.
Yeah,
it is crazy. It's just we've got shooters and the center.
Mm-hmm.
It's we haven't had that.
It's almost like normal basketball.
Yeah. I know. And part of it is obviously Joel's out, so we have Drummond playing in a more traditional 5 role, but it's just it's weird. It's weird to see your point guard pull up and shoot. It's on a nightly basis. It is weird to see that. And I'm not saying it's bad. Not saying it's bad at all. I'm just saying it's weird. I feel like I've been robbed of this experience. I feel like I've had to defend defend a less attractive style of basketball than that. And here we are. But look, even with all the positivity I don't want to come out be negative with these guys. You don't want to be negative.
Yeah. I mean, it's
like,
hard to be positive, but we definitely don't want to be negative right now. Just
it's just
whole team dead.
There was a lot of just especially in the game against the Knicks. I think against the Bucks we figured it out a lot better. But there was a lot of, oh, I'm Tyrese Maxey. Let me dribble to the elbow and take a mid range and brick it. Oh, I'm Shake Milton. Let me drive on Giannis Antetokounmpo and get fucking swatted. There were a lot of oh, I'm Furkan. Let me pull up from 5 feet behind the 3-point line just because I can. So there is a lot of okay, you're open and you're taking the shot, but is that the shot? Is that the right shot that we should be taking? And that's something that when you are so devoid of talent, like this current Sixers roster, you need to manufacture shots. It's just like when you're not good at football, you got to have plays that get guys open and play to your players' strengths. It's the same thing. We need to have guys moving at all time. And part of that issue is we don't have a guy that gets off-ball gravity, especially without Seth Curry, because we don't have a lights-out shooter on this roster right now. We need a guy that is able to, obviously no one's going to be like Steph, the way that they pay attention to him when the ball isn't in his hands. But if we can if everybody's moving like that, it's going to create that same kind of confusion on the defense. But when the defense can just, okay, here are these two guys running back and forth and everyone else is still, they're able to sit back and analyze it. Obviously, that part of that is what killed the Sixers in the playoffs. That's just kind of a common basketball principle. But when you have, guys of the talent level that we do with the kind of schedule that we do, playing NBA talent, when we're still trying to be the best team in the East, you need to have guys running actions. You need to be manufacturing guys open and taking smart shots. I get it. You're all hoopers. But some of the ISO, let me run up the field, run up the court, pull up and brick it, get back on defense. Sure, that has its time and place, but we just need less of it, especially with the situation we have right now. And I do think that we can survive this at 500 without Joel, without Tobias. I do think we can survive.
Yeah, I got another question about the Sixers for you, Ryan, as our resident Sixers expert on the Liberty Line podcast network, especially for the Wolves of Broad Street. Emphasis on especially on the Wolves of Broad Street.
Yeah, strictly the Wolves of Broad Street.
Yeah. Are the Sixers buyers or sellers at the deadline, or is it too early to tell?
It's definitely too early, but I mean, we're trying to sell Ben Simmons, so
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think that's going to be the biggest. That's going to be the biggest thing. It's just because if you can move Ben Simmons, then you can find. I mean, you can get 2-3 guys for Ben Simmons, or you get a star.
Easy money,
theoretically.
I know.
Yeah.
How about this? If the trade deadline was next week,
the trade deadline was next week.
What would you say? Yeah.
I mean, the team as constructed is not going to win a title.
True.
So we'd have to buy. But I also don't see us selling. I mean, we're not we don't really have guys. I mean, I guess we could offload Danny Green and guys like that for picks, but I don't. I still see this team. This team is too entrenched in the win now mode to sell.
Yep.
Even if it's clear that they have to, I doubt Daryl Morey will sell this year because he's just going to look for ways to make this team better, which I support.
Yeah, we have. We've been in win now mode for 4 years, as Seamus G is saying in the chat right now. So and I fully agree with that. So that's pretty funny.
Win now for 4 years. I mean, let me think back here now. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I feel like now though it's like it was we're trying to win now then, but now it's we have to win. It's the sense of urgency because our window, because of the talent we had on the team, our window was open sooner than most. I mean, that was part of why Ben Simmons felt uncomfortable with, the scrutiny of his development was as soon as he was a rookie, he was winning 50 games, which, I don't agree with that. I think that's soft and, that's not what we're here to talk about. But So, I mean, we're a 50-win team at 40 to 50-win team every year since 2017 season. So, yeah, we've been trying to win. We've been trying to build that team, but now we're like, all right, we know what we have in certain guys. Now it's just, can we get over the finish line? Can we make the right moves to get that done? And honestly, it doesn't matter what you do. If you don't move Ben Simmons and get something for him by the trade deadline, you're not winning a title. You're not winning a title because you're just not going to have that depth. You're not going to have that talent level to complete with a healthy Brooklyn team, with a healthy Bucks team. Because I mean, there's no guarantees anyone's going to be healthy, but you never know.
What do you think of this? We got Ed Brown, my good friend Ed Brown, checking in here, and this is just an NBA style opinion here, unpopular opinion. The NBA should get rid of the 3-point line, make players score points in the paint like back in the day. Would be more interesting to watch. What do you think about that, Ryan?
I mean, the game, I think, is made better by the 3-point line. I think the game, I do, just because it does open the floor up and space it a little bit. It's just part of it is, I think that part of why the 3-point line has caused issues is it's spaced the floor a lot, but then also the foul calls have gotten a lot tighter. So I think what we're doing now and relaxing those defensive foul calls is going to kind of help mitigate that almost impossible task defenses are faced with. Granted, I also think we should move the 3-point line back a little bit because guys are getting way too good at it. When you're shooting, when your league leader's shooting almost 50% from 3, that can't be happening. We can't be doing that.
It's a lot. I mean, I think it's interesting and something that I've never really thought of in a million years to get rid of the 3-point line, but it definitely is an interesting conversation. I mean,
because it does take skill.
It does. It takes skill. But what I was talking about was baseball is going through a similar thing right now, right? With pitchers and hitters. I mean, pitchers maybe being a little bit too good for the hitting game right now, maybe possibly moving the mound back a little bit, and that's why I like your idea of maybe moving the 3-point line back a little bit to make it a little more interesting. I don't know, but it's definitely an interesting idea. Thanks for chiming in here, Ed. Appreciate you.
Yeah, much appreciated. Of course, if you are watching with us on Twitter, if you're joining us on Twitter, we can't see your comments. So, I mean, if you go on Facebook or twitch.tv/the Liberty Line, you can get involved in the conversation, much like Ed just took advantage of that chat feature there. We had a nice little conversation. I think that's going to do it for the Sixers. I mean, of course, we do play the Detroit Pistons tomorrow night, tonight, probably by the time this episode's out, if you're listening to it on that Thursday, November 11th. That's a game I think we can win. I'm just excited to see Cade Cunningham and see what he can do.
Yeah,
that's my biggest
it'll
thing.
Be interesting. Yeah, that'll definitely be interesting.
And just see, let Tyrese get his rest. I'm thinking fantasy football too, because Tyreek's been killing me. But let Tyrese get his rest and attack tomorrow.
All right. Do we let Seamus G in here for a little Flyers update? Because it looks like he's ready with the outfit.
Shit. Now. Yeah, totally.
It looks like he's ready to go. So Seamus G, hop on in here, big guy.
There
it is.
How we doing, gentlemen?
Pretty good, man.
Never better.
Give us the Flyers update.
Well, first off, I want to start with my doghouse. I know we already did a doghouse, but I'm putting the NHL schedulers in the doghouse because it's been about 5 days since we last played, and we're playing tonight. We're losing 2-0 right now.
Has it really been 5 days?
5 days?
Yeah, Saturday.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe
that's absurd.
Yeah. So it was like we had an all-star break in November. So that
you all know, I mean, Philly does fantastic with breaks. I mean,
it's going really well. We have, I think it's 30 shots on goal right now, no goals. So it's 2-0. William Nylander for the Toronto Maple Leafs has both goals for them. He's had a good year. I do want to shout out El Capitan, Claude Giroux.
Sure.
The 7th wonder of the world, the 8th wonder of the world, El Capitan.
No, it's the 7th. He replaced.
It's the 7th. He replaced it. You're right.
He replaced the Tower of Babylon or whatever the hell that other one was.
Fuck him.
But yeah, Carter Hart has still been amazing. He saves in the butterfly, stings like a bee. So that's been cool. One of my favorite moments from the past week, I would say, is Brassard. He punched somebody from the bench and got a bench interference call, and he followed that up with a goal. And I love that.
That's
love
hilarious.
That kind of Philly mentality. So funny.
That's
and we
the
beat
dog
the Caps
mentality
in that game. So that was a lot of fun. Love beating the Caps. Caps pretty good.
Yeah.
We can't be losing to teams like the Penguins. Like, the Penguins are not good right now. They don't have a good lineup. For whatever reason, they're doing okay. But, like, it's the Penguins. You can't be losing to them. Unbelievable. We lost in overtime. Still,
sucks.
Another great moment from the week was Travis Konechny's like chip shot into the top left corner. After I think it was Claude Giroux like missed a little wide, it bounced off the back, and he just had some silky mitts, dude, and put it home. So yeah,
awesome.
But yeah,
gotta love the Flyers.
Just like
silky.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, look at the stat banner from. Look at the stat banner for the Flyers. The Sixers didn't even get a stat banner, and
they
Flyers
don't need one.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't know what to put for the stat banner. So,
I could not. Dude, I couldn't tell you either. I remember one week you weren't able to make it, and you're like, yeah, you can throw whatever you want in the banners. And I was like, yeah, I got it. And then I was just like, I don't even know what I would even put in here.
like total shot percentage? I don't know.
Yeah, just like they missed.
I don't know. How many free throws there were? I don't know. Highlight Joel Embiid stats. But yeah.
Those are all great ideas.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Love the chalk talk live on the air. This is
a little stick talk.
Stick
talk.
Absolutely. Just real quick before we end this here, I just got to say I love this team. I love the vibes with these guys, the Twitter interactions, the whole drip off that they had in the hotel lobby the other night. Just a lot of like dirty salad. First of all, looking great out the back of the cap. Second of all, TK is a goon in general. I just every game he's got a face to make. He's just got something. He's got something going on. So I really am loving the team chemistry that's being exhibited right now, and I hope it leads to wins.
Yeah, it seems like it's good. Like I'm not in the locker room, so I can't really tell you exactly how it's going on, but it's definitely been like on the ice. It looks great, and it seems like people are having more fun. One of the things is you can tell people are having more fun because Claude Giroux is like actually gesticulating and actually getting.
He seems like a real person. Like, he seems like he cares about what's going on.
A psycho robot who's just zoned in and mad intense.
Chaperone Giroux approves.
Such a great photo.
Such a great pic, dude. Oh man. Oh yeah, that's dude. Awesome. Go Flyers. Some great stick talk featuring the one and only Seamus G.
Bring it to Broad, please.
Drop a follow. At Seamus SG. And I guess we just got to discuss the results of the poll we did. I just remembered. So I tweeted out for the Wolves. Yeah, I did a poll. I sent out a poll.
I don't even remember that.
Fuck you. You don't even
pull it up, man. What's the poll about?
I'm pulling it up. Give me a second. I forgot.
Well, just tell me what it's about while you're doing.
Oh, it's about can we steal Bing Bong from Knicks fans? And this here you see on the screen is the final. It was, of course, 37% said yes, 67% said, or 63% said no. So that's disappointing. That's disappointing.
It's disappointing.
It got like, how many people voted? Got like 141 votes in the last couple hours. So that's pretty cool.
We get any followers out of that, or probably not?
No, probably not. Probably not. That's fine. But hey, I'm still gonna say Bing Bong. So fuck all you guys. I really enjoy saying it.
Literally the episode title. Literally the episode title. Kiss my ass.
Kiss my ass. Kiss my grit.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to this edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. This was episode 77. Bing Bong. You can follow us at Sam Glavin06, at Ryan Conway 76, at Wolves Abroad ST on all social media platforms. Be sure to check out the libertyline.com and follow them on Twitter at libertylinephl. Buy a freaking t-shirt. Big shout out to Drew Smith and Victor Williams for letting us yell and scream about Philly sports on their podcast network. Big shout out to Seamus G, pulling the strings behind the glass, producing the show at Shamelessly SG. And don't forget, Parks Casino code Wolves69. Get your risk-free bet up to $500 when you use that code. Up to $500. It's risk-free. It's basically free money. No, it's not. Don't tell anybody I said that.
It's not free, but it's free.
It's not free, but it's free. Seamus G, close us down.
It's risk-free.